Hey everybody! I hope you've liked the videos I've made so far on how to replace the elastics in your AppleCheeks diapers and AppleCheeks swim diapers. But I noticed that there was a certain lack of video tutorials on how to remove the elastics from your diapers. I know this can be probably the scariest part of replacing the elastics because this is where you have the highest likelihood of screwing up your precious AppleCheeks. So I'm going to show you the way that I remove the elastics from my diapers. So here I have an orange zest. You can see it's an orange zest because it's got the skinny apple, for those of us who are apple freaks, haha. Anyways, if you look here, you'll notice the ruffles are kind of starting to die at the sides. And that's just an indication that this elastic is going. So I'm going to replace the back elastic. I'm going to start by flipping my diaper inside out. And so you can see, if you look really closely, that this elastic is starting to thin here. That just means that it's time for replacement. So I'm going to start by putting a little tension with my thumb on the fleece. I've got my other fingers inside the pocket. And gently, with some traction, you can see that the stitches start to pop out. So I'll just slip my little stitch ripper in and nick. And again, I'm going to pull with my thumb, putting some traction on it. And see the stitches pop, and out they go. And I'm going to try and keep my stitch ripper on the side between the elastics and the fleece, because if something happens to slip and your stitch ripper accidentally nicks something, it's only going to be the fleece and not the PUL, because if you cut the PUL, then your diaper is going to leak and it's not going to look so pretty. But if you nick the fleece, it's not really the end of the world. You can pretty much patch it up and no one will know the difference. So you can see I already took out that anchor stitch there. And just by pulling this little bit of traction and picking a little individual stitch at a time, it just starts to come away. You could start to get fancy and skip stitches if you want. You don't have to. Taking it slow is always a good thing, especially if you're working with those hard to finds. So bit by bit, pull and pick. Now if you want to get fancy, you can run your stitch ripper all the way along and go a little faster, but I wouldn't recommend that right off the bat because that's how you can get in trouble. So bit by bit, along we go. You can see here we've got these broken ends on the elastics. That means it's definitely time for these to get changed. There you see I picked a few at the same time. And we'll just keep turning it inside out, keeping that tension. And bit by bit, we'll get there. Usually I just pick up my elastics while I'm watching TV. I've done so many of these that it's become second nature. I don't even have to pay attention while I'm doing it anymore. I'm using a regular seam ripper, but I have a really nice one that I got from Lee Valley. Actually, it was a present. And I find it does an incredible job. It's sharp like a scalpel. It's incredible. But any old stitch ripper will do, as long as you take it slow. Almost there. Bit by bit. Don't want to get too cocky, because if I stick this sharp edge right through, the elastic into the PUL, then I've got a big gaping hole and basically screwed up my whole diaper. Okay. I just want to be careful. Here we are, getting to the end. I know it can be scary to take on the task of replacing your own elastics, but really, it's not that hard. Like I said in my other videos, anyone who has a basic knowledge of sewing can do this. Okay, so I've gotten to the other anchor stitch now. Again, just putting a little tension on it, pulling at it, just to get those stitches to pop out and become apparent. It gets a little harder here because it's back stitched, so it's basically stitched in twice. But just a little persuasion. There you go. Last one. There we go. Ugly, gnarly elastic is now gone. That's it. And so you can see the old stitch line. That's what we're going to use to follow for the next step. And you can see my other videos for how to sew the new elastics in. Thanks for watching, guys.